Okay, so my first video in this series is going to be about the elements of art, and I know that always sounds really boring, and why the heck would you learn that stuff? But the reality is that each piece of art consists of at least one, probably more than one elements of art. It's not so much something that you use and you look at a piece of art in a museum or online or whatever and just go like, wow, I really love what shapes Leonardo da Vinci uses, because it just doesn't work that way. But what it does help you to do is create better art. So let's dive into those elements of art. This is going to be a very short video, because then after that, my next video, we're going to dive straight into actually making some art. Okay, so this is how I remember the elements of art. It's super easy. First of all, what we got here on this piece of paper is space. In that space, there is a line. Okay, so we've got two elements of the art there. We've got space and line. Now this line, we can actually turn into a shape. The next thing, what turns this shape into what we call form. And this is actually not a very good way of drawing perspective, but you get the idea. A sculpture would definitely be form because it's completely 3D. You can walk around it. What if this thing had hairs on top? Now it has texture because it feels like the top might be, well, might be a little spiky, or maybe it could be soft. We don't know. The other form of texture there is actually the texture of the paper. This paper is pretty soft, but it's still vastly different than, say, the texture of the wood that I'm putting the paper on top of. Color. So we have the space, line, shape, form, texture, and color. Okay, so the last element of art is the element of value, basically the difference between light and dark. So we give a little shading on this side of the cube. You'll see right away that that adds more depth to the actual drawing. And that's the whole point of value. Those are the elements of art. Now, why are we learning that stuff? It is to help you realize what your artwork is going to consist of, and also to help you understand why you are using some of these things. And that's what we're going to dive into in the next lesson, because the next lesson we are going to be using line.